You know, they can keep talking now, even though I've just done that performance, and it's not going to bother me anymore. It's just that I like to, you know, prove myself.
She said Dakota Ditcheva was all hype, just another name built on buzz and branding. But what happened next rewrote everything we thought we knew about dominance in MMA.
Usually focus on takedown defense. What a right hand that was!
It's a laser.
Now the question isn't whether Dakota's the real deal, it's who's brave enough to stand across from her next.
I mean, it's a small victory, but then this is your reward. Back on the feet with Dakota Ditcheva. Good level change here from home.
She goes again, pushes her back, but great balance by Ditcheva.
She was convinced that Dakota Ditcheva wouldn't survive 3 rounds. What Holm didn't know was that Dakota wasn't there to survive. She was there to destroy, and destroy she did. With one clean right hand, Holm was wobbling like a puppet with cut strings, and when the 3rd round came, Dakota didn't flinch. She dropped her with a flawless 1-2 and a kick that echoed across the arena. The same woman who promised to dominate couldn't even get up without help.
That feels nice as well, especially with Christmas coming up. So, yeah, obviously it sets me up now for a little bit. It can set the family up, which is nice.
There's tough. And then there's Dakota Ditcheva tough. And let's be clear, it's not that loud chest-thumping, I'll smash you bro energy that dissolves the moment someone throws a real punch. No, Dakota doesn't need theatrics. She doesn't need to scream threats or flex in front of cameras like she's auditioning for a bad reality show. Her toughness is colder, quieter, way scarier. It's that blank stare, ice in her veins, calculating assassin kind of tough. The kind that makes the air in the room drop 10 degrees when she walks in. You're not worried because she's yelling. You're worried because she isn't.
Louder in my head. It's just that they like talk more and more all the time, you know? I'm like, obviously it builds up, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
She's not pacing. She's not posturing. She's watching. And somewhere behind that unbothered gaze, she's already picked which round she's going to break your will and how many ribs she's willing to rearrange in the process. It's not bravado. It's premeditated destruction wrapped in calm. You won't hear her coming. You won't even know you've lost until you're staring up at the lights, wondering how a fighter who barely blinked just folded your entire game plan into a highlight reel. That's Dakota Ditcheva tough. And if you think that's hype, you've clearly never stood across from her.
Look at the change in the look in the eyes of Dakota Ditcheva right when the fight started. From smiling when she walked in to hunting her prey right now.
Let's rewind to the Cornelia Holm disaster, or as it's now known, the official start of the Dakota Doesn't Blink era. Holm came in swinging credentials like a sword, all puffed up on wrestling pride and pre-fight predictions. She won't last 3 rounds, she declared, oozing confidence. Bold talk for someone who barely made it past the halfway mark.
That's not a bad thing for me. I showed that I can grapple, you know, wrestle, get back up, and I'm happy, yeah.
Dakota, she didn't fire back. No trash talk, no flex. Just that signature stillness, ice cold and unreadable, like she was mentally filing Holm's weaknesses while waiting for the bell. No twitch, no smirk, just pure calculation like a hit woman scrolling through a to-do list. Holm thought she was about to wrestle her way to a win. What she got instead was a slow, methodical collapse, served with surgical precision.
Beautiful fluidity in the movement. You can see Cornelia Holm now starting to really feel the pressure. Desperate to get this fight to the floor. Beautiful, very nice. Now we're going to see Holm.
Holm charged in thinking she'd expose Dakota's ground game, test her, drag her into deep waters, prove she was just hype. What she got instead? A front row seat to her own unraveling. From the very first exchange, Dakota stuffed every takedown attempt like she was swatting away a housefly, calm, composed, not even remotely impressed. And then, bit by bit, she dialed up the violence. Not all at once, slowly, deliberately, like a surgeon deciding which nerve to cut first. Holm went from aggressive to confused, from confident to desperate. Every shot she threw was returned with interest. Every clinch turned into a punishment.
Try and catch her on the way in or potentially focus on takedown defense.
Oh, big right hand.
What a right hand that was.
It's a laser. She always hits.
By round 2, she cracked Holm with a right hand so sharp it made her do that awkward wobble. You know, when the legs are still technically standing, but the brain's already clocked out.
Got a guillotine here, that looks tight.
It's very tight. Can she get the grip and elevate her right elbow, get the angle on that forearm across Cornelia Holm's
Job by
throat?
Holm, pushing her head up.
If Holm gets this takedown, she's got to land outside of the guard, otherwise she's going to get trapped here.
Trying to hook the leg.
By round 3, Dakota shut the lights off with a picture-perfect 1-2 and a kick that could have ended a sci-fi villain. Holm didn't just lose, she got emotionally evicted. It wasn't just a loss, it was an eviction notice from Relevance, signed and sealed by a woman who never even blinked.
Oh!
Yeah, and a power. Dakota Ditcheva with the third round finish.
What a finish, beautiful work. Hard shot to the body, she's still hurt. Still can't.
And then came Valentina Skitidze. Oh boy. If Holm underestimated Dakota, Skitidze straight up disrespected her. She walked into face-off snarling like a caged wolf, growling about being an animal, claiming she was tougher, stronger, meaner. Dakota, she didn't snarl, she didn't flinch, she calmly asked for the belt. That's it, not even a flex, just a quiet request, like she was ordering dessert after already finishing dinner.
Sean O'Connell, Brendan Loughnane, and Dan Hardy on the broadcast desk for this one. Skitidze in the southpaw stance, coming out aggressive.
Now here's the thing, Valentina Skitidze didn't just want to fight, she wanted war. Walked into press conferences snarling, flexing, ready to prove she was the alpha.
I'm ready, and I can't wait to show you who is the real warrior. And
Cute. But she didn't realize Dakota doesn't bring war, she is war, wrapped in a polite smile and eerily quiet energy. The moment that cage door locked, Dakota didn't flinch, didn't growl. She just turned up the precision like she was adjusting a microscope. Skitidze came in all fire and fury. Dakota read her like a bedtime story with a tragic ending. She saw that swollen left eye and treated it like a GPS marker. Jab, elbow, knee, repeat until the doctor steps in. And he did, because what started as a cage fight quickly turned into a crime scene. Skitidze, who came to smash, couldn't even see the punches anymore. That wasn't just a loss, that was humiliation. Served with surgical finesse and zero emotional investment.
Nice.
And running right into some strikes from Dakota Ditcheva.
I think this is the only way that Skitidze can win this, make it there.
That swollen left eye. Oh, Dakota saw it and treated it like a personal invitation. She didn't miss it. She zoomed in. Jab, elbow, knee, repeat. Over and over, like she was doing a tutorial called How to Detonate an Ego in Under 10 Minutes. That eye ballooned up so fast, it deserved its own entrance music. By the time the doctor waddled in, the poor guy wasn't saving a fighter. He was closing a crime scene. And Skitidze, the same one who roared about smashing Dakota. She couldn't even see where the next punch was coming from, let alone return one. It wasn't just a beatdown, it was a full-blown masterclass in humiliation with surgical precision. You could practically hear the cage whisper, "You done yet?" Dakota didn't scream, didn't posture. She just calmly erased another opponent, one targeted strike at a time. And the eye? Let's just say it learned respect the hard way.
I think the doctor's going to step in and stop this. I don't think she's going to be able to see out of that eye.
Another right hand there from Dakota Ditcheva, banking an unbelievable.
You see, Dakota doesn't just beat people physically. That would be too easy. No, she breaks them mentally before the first punch is even thrown. It's that eerie, unshakable calm. No jitters, no trash talk, just pure, unnerving silence. Fighters walk in thinking they're up against a striker, maybe someone they can drag to the mat and smother.
I was completely fine, very calm. My coach, he said the same thing, Conan. He was like, I was super calm, you knew what you was doing.
They convince themselves they've cracked the code, but what actually happens is far worse. Somewhere between the stare down and the second round, they realize Dakota's already 3 moves ahead. She's not reacting, she's predicting. That game plan they worked on for 8 weeks. She's dissected it in 8 seconds, and by the time they try to adjust, it's too late. They're just a name on her list, waiting to be crossed out. She doesn't just dismantle your body, she vacates your confidence. Fighting Dakota isn't about surviving rounds, it's about surviving the realization you never stood a chance.
At 5 minutes of round number 1, declaring your winner via TKO on medical advice, due to the fighter being unable to continue. Declaring your winner and 2023 Women's Flyweight Champion, Dakota Ditcheva!
And speaking of that list, let's talk about how Dakota finishes fights. Because these aren't your typical ref steps in to save the day TKOs. No, these are cold, calculated acts of strategic destruction. It's not just that she hits hard, it's that she hits with perfect timing, surgical placement, and cruel intent. It's the when, the where, the why. She doesn't swing wild hoping for a highlight. She waits for the exact second you're off balance, wide-eyed, or breathing too hard. Then she strikes, and suddenly you're on the canvas wondering what just happened. Every combo, every elbow, every snap kick has purpose. Holm got folded after her spirit quietly left the building. Skititsy. She got her swollen eye treated like a bullseye in a dart match. Dakota doesn't just finish fights, she ends confidence, erases game plans, and leaves opponents questioning their careers. It's not violence for the sake of violence. It's artful execution with a heartbeat.
Be lost. The graphics show Dakota Ditcheva a minus 4,500 favorite as this fight begins. Leg kick to open the action from Ditcheva.
Then there's the Malden massacre. Dakota didn't just go for the finish. Number she calculated. She saw Malden's rhythm, broke it, and then dismantled her. Every transition, deliberate. Every strike, surgical. By the time the ref stepped in, Lisa Malden looked less like a fighter and more like a cautionary tale.
You can see the speed of Dakota Ditcheva on display. Nasty combination.
But she threw a punch with her leg stuck up there. Wow.
You saw the smile on Dakota Ditcheva's face as she had.
Her weapons? Oh, she's got an arsenal. Laser-guided 1-2 combos, front kicks that snap, clinch knees that feel like a freight train to the ribs, and the timing, impeccable. She doesn't throw wild. She throws when it hurts the most, when her opponent's off balance, wide-eyed, or breathing too hard. Every shot has a purpose. Every strike tells a story. And the ending. It's always the same. Dakota standing, calm as ever, while her opponent stares up at the ceiling, wondering how it all fell apart so fast.
I think it's just good practice. Like, people will probably look at that now. You're going to see loads on the internet like, oh, she got took down, she's got holes in the game. Well, yeah, we all have holes in our game, so...
What makes it worse for her opponents is that there's never chaos. No frantic energy, no swings for the fences. It's chess. Fast, brutal chess. You don't even know she's winning until it's already checkmate. She doesn't need to brawl. She calculates. And when she does unleash, it's like flipping a switch that melts everything in its path. So yeah, Dakota doesn't just win. She ruins confidence. She erases game plans. She redefines dominance. And the best part, she does it all with the emotional range of someone scrolling through a playlist. Now that is scary. Oh, you thought she was done? Nah. Just because Dakota Ditcheva was off the radar for 8 months doesn't mean she was gone. She was just loading. July 19th, 2025, Cape Town. The cage opens. The crowd roars. And there she is, the undefeated destroyer back in action after what felt like a lifetime. The opponent? Sumiko Inaba. Tough, sure, skilled, definitely. But prepared for a half-powered Dakota? Not even close.
But once again, that straight blast entry without moving her head. Inaba has to come up with a different offensive strategy. She can't do what she...
Now here's where it gets absurd. Mid-fight, Dakota breaks her hand. Literally, one of her most lethal weapons. Down. Gone. Finished. Any normal fighter would have backed off, maybe coasted, maybe panicked a little. Not Dakota. She fought the rest of the match like that broken hand was just a minor inconvenience, like a chipped nail or a delayed flight. She kept pressing forward, landing shots, defending every takedown, and walking Inaba down like a lion that smells dinner.
Inaba doing a better job than most opponents do of minimizing damage, but the damage is still coming through.
problem is it all adds up, Sean.
3 rounds. Dominant. Not a single moment where she looked flustered. Unanimous decision win, and not even close. Critics who once yelled, "She's all hype," had to sit in silence, because now she was winning fights with one good hand. That's not just tough. That's nightmare fuel for every fighter who thought she was beatable.
I feel like I wanted to stay professional, you know. Obviously, a lot of people went online and stuff, and everyone's indifferent. Obviously, people have sat out a lot longer than I have. So I kind of just wanted to make sure I had kind of a direction first before I started moaning publicly, you know. I felt like it was something.
And then came the twist no one saw coming. She re-signed with PFL. Yep. Right when UFC fans were begging for her to make the jump, Dakota said, "Nah, I'm good. I've got work to do right here." She's not chasing anyone's legacy. She's building her own, brick by bloody brick. And how is she building it? By blending styles like a fighting cheat code. 1 second, she's throwing Muay Thai knees that lift people off the mat. The next, she's in the clinch with judo-style control, flipping fighters like it's Jiu-Jitsu Sunday.
I'm surprised they didn't stop it straight away, because that's why I was pointing at. There was no way the doctor was letting her out with that eye.
Dakota's wrestling defense isn't just solid, it's airtight. She reads attempts before they happen. She shuts them down, then punishes you for even trying. That's the kind of IQ that gets overlooked because it's not flashy. But make no mistake, it's lethal. She switches stances mid-fight like she's testing you. She changes pace, adjusts rhythm, throws off your timing. It's like she's not just fighting, she's playing chess while you're stuck in checkers. And unlike most young fighters who get dragged into sloppy brawls trying to prove something, Dakota doesn't swing wild. She hunts, she studies, she dissects, and then she finishes, cold and clean, like McGregor on his best night, but with the patience of Khabib grinding you down. So no, Dakota Ditcheva isn't hype, she's a system. And that system, still undefeated, still terrifying, still writing history, one broken hand at a time. If Dakota Ditcheva just shattered your expectations, imagine what she'll do next. Subscribe now to stay updated with all her upcoming fights.